Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. I hope you're well and having a beautiful day. In today's video, we will be making absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Today we're going to do a quiz, and within that quiz is going to be two sets. One is name that block, and the other one is about answering some quizzes about or questions about quilting knowledge that you may or may not have, or things you may or may not know about quilting. All right, so it's going to be a little bit of fun, and I would like you to really get involved with it. Okay, tell me down below how many questions you got correct and how many, whether it's 50%, 100%. I'm hoping you get 100% because that means you are a quilting professional if you get 100%. And if you didn't, well, you have learned something today. So do not beat yourself up about it. All right. Like and share the video around. Of course, tell your friends all about the quilting knowledge quiz that you were successful with. My husband and I usually do things like this online on YouTube. When a quiz sort of comes up, we usually gets involved and he's there. And my husband has so much knowledge, I tell you, he knows every damn thing. I was be like, shut up sometimes, especially when we're playing games. He wins every damn thing. And I was like, really? You can't pretend? But anyway, so have fun with it. Let's get started and I will see you in the quiz video. So let's get to it, guys. All right, get ready to test your quilting knowledge today. Let's get started. So here we go. How many can you get correct for this? 5, 4, the countdown begins. 3, 2, 1. Here we go. What is the name of the small folded piece of fabric used to create designs in quilting? A, applique, B, batting, C, binding, D, selvage. Do you know which one is? Let's get the answer. It is, of course, an applique. Well done if you got this correct. Let's move on to the next one. What does WF stand for in quilting patterns? A, width of fabric, B, warp of fabric, C, weave of fabric, D, weight of fabric. Do you know this one? The answer is, of course, width of fabric. Definitely. Let's move on to the next. Which quilting tool is used to cut fabric into precise shapes? A, fabric shears, B, seam ripper, C, thimble, D, rotary cutter. The answer is, of course, a rotary cutter. Did I trick you with this one? Let's move on to number 4. True or false? A fat quarter is a quarter yard cut of fabric that measures 18 inches by 22. Is that correct? Do you know this? Let's see what the answer is. True or false? Of course, the answer is true. Unlike a regular quarter yard cut, which is 9 inches by 44, a fat quarter is wider and shorter. Did you know this? Let's continue. What is the term for stitching through all 3 layers of a quilt to hold them together? A, basting, B, piecing, C, quilting, D, pressing. Come on, newbies, you should know this one. This is basic. The answer is, of course, quilting. We must quilt them so they can stay together to give us that warmth. Let's move on. Which of these is not a common quilt block pattern? A log cabin, B, herringbone stitch, C, flying geese, D, Ohio star. The answer is, of course, a herringbone stitch. It is not a quilt pattern. It's a type of stitch. Let's continue. What is the purpose of sandwiching a quilt? A, layering the quilt top, batting and backing before quilting. B, adding decorative stitching. C, folding the quilt for storage. D, washing the fabric before sewing. Of course, layering the quilt top batting and backing before quilting. Sandwiching, just like layers in a sandwich. What type of stitch is often used for hand quilting? A chain stitch, B, back stitch, C, blanket stitch, D, a running stitch. Of course, it's a running stitch. Of course, guys. I hope you got that one. Let's move on. Which batting type is known for being lightweight and breathable? A, polyester, B, wool, C, cotton, D, bamboo. Cotton, absolutely. We keep it to keep cool. We wear them to keep cool. What is the fussy cutting in quilting? Sewing without a pattern, using tiny precise stitches, making irregular shaped quilt pieces, cutting fabric to highlight a specific design. Of course, that is definitely what it is, to highlight that design or motif so we can show it off in our quilts. Well done if you got that. True or false? Sashing refers to strips of fabric between quilt blocks. That answer is, of course, true. I gave it to you. You should have known this one. Let's hope you got that one correct. Let's move on to the next one. What is the final step in finishing a quilt? Binding the edges, ironing the quilt top, adding embroidery, starching the fabric. Which one do you think? Of course, it's binding the edges. Those are the last things we do, and we hate it sometimes. Let's move on. All right, so let's take a short break from this quiz, and I would just like to remind you, this video is sponsored by me here, definitely, all right? So if you haven't taken part in any of my quilt-alongs, never before, I'm going to show you some beautiful quilts that we have made as a group in the past. So if you'd like to join, I'm going to put the video on all the quilts that we've made for quilt-alongs or Christmas alongs or sew-alongs or block of the month. They're all going to be included, and all you need to do is sign up in the link below to start on the Christmas quilt-along starting on the 31st of August. All right, and you will have beautiful time. You're going to learn so much, and you're going to be really proud of yourself. So join up at the link in the description box down below. It's only cost you $12 US, which is 12 Australian dollars, which is $8 US. Get it right, Karen, because somebody's going to say to me, the price was wrong. Okay, I'll say it again. Okay. 12 Australian dollars, which is $8 US, okay? Link in the description box down below. Sign up today. Do not miss out. Otherwise, you will beat yourself up and be like, why didn't I join before? I'm telling you now in advance. We're making really big, beautiful blocks. The blocks are going to come up to, I think, 14 and 15 inches or 15 and 16. But I'm going to show you an idea of what the blocks look like on the screen. And then you can just get excited and join up. Okay, and so we will be completing on time for Christmas. I'm aiming for us to complete at the beginning of December. So you have loads of time to get it all done, quilted, etc., and make a beautiful quilt for Christmas that you can use on the wall or you can use as a sofa quilt. All right, so with that being said, let's get back to the quiz. I hope you're doing well, and don't forget to let me know how many you got. See you. Let's get back to the video. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Now, guess the quilt block. This one can be a little bit tricky. Right, here we go. So I'm going to read the questions. You need to guess what the quilt block is. This block has a large center square of logs wrapped around it. Which one do you think it is? It's a log cabin. Fun fact, it symbolizes the home in pioneer quilts, dark strips, shadows, light strips, and sunlight. Beautiful. Did you know that? This block looks like a swirling pinwheel in motion. Which block it is? Do you know? The key is in the sentence. Of course, the answer is A pinwheel. It's a swirling around, made with half square triangles that some of us love to hate. This block has a star with 8 diamond-shaped points. Do you know what block I'm referring to? It's, of course, the Lone Star, or sometimes called the Star of Bethlehem. Beautiful. Lone Star or Star of Bethlehem is one of the oldest American quilt patterns. Did you know this? Or did I teach you something today? This block has a large plus sign in the center with small squares in the corners. What could it be? Of course, it's the Irish chain. Great for beginners, uses only squares and rectangles. This block has curved petals radiating from the center. Aha! Do you know this one? Of course, it's the Dresden plate, popular in the 1920s and 30s. Some people deem it as old-fashioned, but I love it. This block has a square inside a square with triangles at the corners. You should know this one. Very basic block, of course. It's the shoe fly, named after the shoe fly pie. Beautiful, yet simple. This block has interlocking rings or circles. Come on, guys. You know this one. It's, of course, the double wedding ring. Symbolizes love, commitment for wedding quilts. Have you made one as yet? This block has a zigzag line running through it. What could it be? Let's see. It's the chevron, made from parallelograms. That's a long word, definitely. Haha. This block has a large star with smaller stars in the corners. What could it be? Do you know this one? It's the Ohio Star. A fun fact, it's a Civil War era classic. Definitely. Beautiful, and again, made from lots of hard square triangles. Well done. How many did you get correct? Leave your score in the description box down below. Bye for now, and happy quilting.